Hey everyone, Martin here. I've just created a new channel called Drop the Lowest. For some of you more savvy D&Ders, that's probably a common sense phrase. But to those who are just starting out, Drop the Lowest goes way back. Way back. In fact, it just has to do with character creation. And that's really what I wanted this channel to be about. About D&D and creation and players and DMs alike. What I'm trying to do in this specific channel really is to prepare those who are not Matt Mercers or Matt Covilles or Jims or Jim Davis. Jim, I meant Matt Coville's buddy. I think his name is Jim. But Jim Davis. I mean, you have so many. The guy off of D20, the guy that's off Fantasy Grounds. There are so many people out there that I don't know when they actually work. I'm recording this right now in my D&D area, which is in my garage in my workshop. I don't have some fancy studio or any fancy area where I get to do this. This is the real world. This is the real world. I have a family. I have a job. I have many other things to do besides D&D. But I love D&D. So, you're getting a lot of advice out there in the YouTube world, and I love everybody out there. I watch their videos all the time. I'm probably some of everybody's biggest fans. Nerdarchy, love you guys. Been there for a long time, and unfortunately I've been a lurker. I've been a lurker a long time, and I've decided to kind of come out of the shadows. Lurker feet? Anyways, but I've decided to kind of come out of the shadows and put in some of the information that I think might help some people out there. For one, there's a lot of these channels out there that predominantly this is what they do. In fact, they're almost full-time D&Ders. I wish I could do that. However, you know, that's not how life always works out. So, I am not jealous or upset about it or anything like that. But I do think that there should be some DM tips and player tips that are geared more towards people who have similar lifestyles like I do, who have a full-time family. Now, if you're a teenager and you're not a teen mom or a teen dad, this is no big deal. You go do whatever you want. Go crazy, knock yourselves out. But for those of us who are later in life and want to do these things, it's tough. I was part of a podcast. Some of you maybe know it, some of you may not, but my name's Martin and I was a personality off of Dungeon Mastered. We had, I think, a couple seasons. We loved it. However, it was extremely difficult to arrange with 4 or 5 guys, some that don't even live here in our state, with full-time families. Now, there are people that do this. I know Nerdarchy for a long time. They have full-time jobs, and they've been playing D&D, and I think they're getting a lot more into the D&D aspect where they're making it a career. Great for them. Wish I could do it. Love the idea. However, that's not how reality works. So, take all the advice out there you get with a grain of salt. Some people don't have hours and hours of time to prepare. Some people don't have everything at their disposal. I love watching some of these videos where you get to see the splash of dice all over the table, and look, see what I've got back there? My little starter box. I even have, check this out. Boom. Yeah, baby. I'm a big fan of cards. I like cards because I like optimization. I want to get everything done as quick as I can. So I like to optimize. But there's a lot of tools. And let's, and maybe it gives you street cred if you've owned a lot of things. So yeah, we've got some 5e stuff. We've got some 5e stuff. Great. Need books. So one of the first things you need books. You need books. Now, the great thing about Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm only talking D&D. I haven't done a lot of the other stuff. D&D was my core. That's what I love, so that's what I know. But there are a lot of resources out there. One of them, which is the SRD. So you can go download that for free. So if you're brand new and on a budget, and guess what? I was on a budget. We're going to talk about budget just here in a minute at the very end, because this was the coolest thing to me that I found when I was kind of going through everything, getting ready for the video. But yeah, this was it. This right here was, and who loved it so much? They got two players handbooks. I mean, how do you go wrong? How do you go wrong? How do you go wrong? Oh, boom, boom. Check my monitor. But yeah, Gary Gygax, big dog in town. Oh yeah, boom, good stuff. So yeah, so we've got books, plenty of books. Heck, we've got tomes. Look at that. We've even got tomes of magic. So we've got books. What else do we need? We need dice. So we've got loads. We need big dice, little dice, clear dice, fancy dice. I mean, we've got all kinds of dice. So we've got dices galore. That's great. Love dice. Perfect. What else do we need? We've got books, so we got the rules. We've got dice, so we can roll it. What else do we need? Well, we're probably okay. Anybody recognize this bag? Classic. Classic right there. What else do we need? How about an adventure? Bam! Oh my gosh. All time. One of my all-time favorites. If you notice, this is one's for advanced or expert. What did it say? Expert. Expert game adventures. Oh my gosh. This stuff is just so good. So yeah, we got adventures. We've got dungeon modules. Some of these are in rough shape. Some of them are in rough shape. Not gonna lie. We've got, I'm missing a few characters, but we've got some of the big ones in here, which are good. I mean, we've got more. So we've got more Dragonlance. Another classic. Oh, all right. So we've got adventures. What about campaign settings? Huh? What about campaign settings? Bam! Look at that. Look at that. Planescapes, baby. All day long. Planescapes. I know there's some nerdarchies that like their Planescapes. Look at that. Sigil. I don't care. I don't care. Be the DM. Call it whatever you want. No big deal. All right, so we've got adventures. Great. Got that covered. We've got books. We've got campaign settings. Great. We've got so much stuff. How about gear? Let's talk about minis. How about minis? Look at these guys. How do you do this on a budget? You know, there's videos out there where they talk about making these things. But, you know, who's an artist? I'm not. Look at these guys. I can't do that. But I've got ways that you can find them. And you can remake them. Look at this cool guy. Look at that. Love them. I mean, there's tons of things. How about making spell cards? Boom. Making spell cards. How about cards that just help you with what's going on? Here's your combat actions. How's that? There's a lot of things. There are tools. There are so many out there that are available to you. How about deck of encounters? I'll tell you one thing right now. This stuff is gold. If you don't have deck of encounters, oh man. What about the magical items? Great. Give it to a player. They hold it as a card. Oh, this is going to bring a lot of hate. It's going to bring a lot of hate. Can't forget about my psionics. Oh my gosh. There's just, so yeah. So is there a street cred? Sure. Get your Dungeon Master screen. Get that screen out. You need that screen. Ooh, how about some creative modules? How about I mean, talk about when they decided to get more advanced with the discs. How about that? I'm about to really set some of you on fire. Who still has their original copy? Who still has it? Huh? Who still has it? Maps and all. How about making stuff? You know, these bags. My wife made these. Out of leather. Love them. Doing things on a budget. You know what I mean? Doing things on a budget. Printing out these cards and putting them in baseball sleeves. Nice hard ones for you to write on. It's great stuff. I've got one for you. This was so my players didn't have to be embarrassed to keep playing D&D. If D&D was real life, this right here would be a thieves' tool. This would be a thieves' tool. This would be... Whoops, I'm having a malfunction. I'm so excited about it that I'm having malfunctions. Sorry, that was probably really staticky. I apologize. So, here it is. The Incognito dice tray. What does it look like? Just looks like a regular picture frame, right? Wrong. Boom. Look at that. So on the inside is a nice padding. You can hang it and everything. You're able to pull this out so you can get to your frame. So let's hear what it sounds like. Let's try some out. And let's do a little sample, okay? So let's do a sample on the table. Ready? Here we go. Audio sample. Audio sample. Yeah. Yeah. Audio sample. All right. Now in the tray. Oh, yeah. So when you're at a house playing with a bunch of people, sometimes people don't want to hear this. Sometimes they want to hear... Uh-oh. Sometimes they want to hear that. They want to hear... All right, roll. Boom. That's kind of funny. I dropped my 6-sided dice. Oh, man. It's just good stuff. There are so many things you can do. So many things. It's a great hobby. And I'm gonna make, I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of great edited videos and stuff like that. You're gonna get the raw stuff with me. This is gonna be unedited, real life. Real life. Why? Because, you know what? You've got people that are doing take 2, take 3, bloopers and everything. That's great. When you're at the D&D table, guess what? There are no do-overs. You screw it up the first time, it's screwed. You move on. So lesson number 1, screw up, then move on. The worst thing you can do is linger on a problem. But yeah, so who all's got these things? Tons of people. Tons of people. Who's got their own dry erase board? This comes in handy during the game. We put out points of reference, any kind of homebrew stuff that we have here. It's great. But we have tons of things. How about a dry erase table? How about taking a picnic table, putting a lacquer on it, and now you have a dry erase table? Love it. Go around. Boom. Heck yeah. Get my cloth out. Wipe it down. I have a dry erase table because if I don't, My wife would be pissed that I just did a bunch of marker over a table that wasn't dry erase. You know, there's just a lot of good materials, but not everybody is going to be able to afford everything. Go download the SRD. Yes, at some point, go get the other materials. Get the old stuff. Find the old stuff on sale. There is great material there. There is a multitude of history and lessons that you can get from every level on the D&D editions, which are great. So absolutely don't forget D&D's past. Go back there. Look at some of the old monsters. Look at some of the old rules. Look at Thaco. Thaco. Anybody want to tell me what their pronunciation is? But don't sit here and listen to everybody about D&D and how to run the game and how to do this and how to do that and expect that you're going to go do all this. You're not. It's not going to work for you. You've got to find your own style. Now, there are great tips out there. There are great things that you could implement. But first thing is set expectations. Okay? All right. So things you need. You need, one, gear. We talked about that. You need gear. You need all the stuff to run a game. That's fine. Do you absolutely need the miniatures? No. There are paper minis out there. There's plenty. There's tons of these things. They're all over the place. Do you need them? No. You can get clear ones. You can print them out. There's little tokens. They're great. So gear. Get gear. Get your books. Get your maps. Get your accessories. Get creative. That's another thing. Get all of your stuff. Okay, so get your gear. Books, campaigns, maps. Get the stuff for your players. Get all that stuff ready and have that. Get your dice, whatever. Get everything you can and start playing. Just because you don't have everything doesn't mean you don't play. So, first thing, gear up. Gear up, get your stuff. Gear up. 2, set your expectation. What do I mean by this SEF? Because I can't write a T. Set expectations. For one, set your expectations. Go in and just try something easy. Small module. Matt Colville's got a great running the game series. It's one of my favorites. I really loved his earlier stuff. And that happens to me with a lot of the D&Ders on there. I feel just like the lower levels in D&D are my favorite, before everybody got super popular, those are my favorites too. So don't make me super popular. Okay? So set expectations. Be prepared to fail. In fact, look forward to it. In fact, tell your players, hey, I'm going to screw up a whole bunch. Let's have fun. Let's just have fun and learn this game and enjoy it. Fine. No big deal. So set the expectations not only with yourself, but also your players. The next thing is play. It doesn't matter if it's for 45 minutes to an hour or all night long. I have done both. I have had full multi-day marathons, and I loved them, and they were draining, and we smelled terrible, but it was good times. Different time in my life, though. Completely different time in my life. Another thing. Organize. Get organized. Okay? If you can get organized so that way you have at least the things that you need at the table, ready to go. For you, the DM's Guide and the Monsters Manual. That's probably the most you need. If you're running a module, the module. Read up on it. Do you need to master it all? No, make it up as you go. Make it fun. Sometimes I go through a module and I'm like, this module stinks. So I change it. And I have fun with it. D&D is about creation. Don't let anybody tell you different. D&D is about creation. There are so many people out there who will say, don't create your own campaign. Forget that. I've created dozens, and I love them all, and I had a blast in them all. And it made me want to play this game even more. D&D is about creation. It's about creating a world where you get to, and you hear this all the time, suspend disbelief and actually put yourself in the scenario of the characters. It's also about creating bonds with the people at the table. Creating or enhancing those friendships that you've already got, or creating the new ones. It's about creating enjoyment for other people. It's about creating an atmosphere that's healthy and interactive that, frankly, we don't have enough of these days. D&D is the last bastion of full creativity. Why? Because it's the one thing that you can say, screw all these rules, we're going to run it like this tonight. Great. I hope you do that. I hope you go out there and create. And don't sit there and just look at all these books and look at all these rules and say, okay, well, I just have to follow this. No, it's a great standard and they're guidelines. Take them as that and move on. The pillars of play. These are guidelines. Ultimately, they want you to create this game that everybody's going to enjoy. And make sure you're setting that expectation. You're going to create a bunch of stuff that they might not like. That's okay. You still got experience creating. But set that expectation to fail. Set that expectation that not everybody's going to like it. And that's okay. Make sure, though, you gear up, set the expectations, play. Just play. Even if you don't have everything, start playing. Just start playing somehow. Get the SRD and a bag of dice and just start going. Make up your own monsters and armor classes and hit points. Make them all up. Create. And then make sure you're organized, because organization will help you as you go along. As you can tell in this video, I'm extremely organized. Can't you tell? Was I redundant? I was redundant. That's okay. But, you know, that's my thing. I'm going to create a lot more videos kind of showing some of the things that I've done. You know, how did I get these guys? How did I do it? What did I do? How did I stay on a budget? How did I do these things? How did I make people engaged? How did I have fun? I'll make a series. If you watch it, great. If you don't watch it, I hope you're getting some of this somewhere and you're able to play and keep going. But it's a wonderful game. And it's a wonderful lifestyle. But not everybody has all the time. I sure don't. I don't have the time to make this video. But I'm doing it. And my buddy right now that's in Washington, D.C., who's hundreds of miles from me, is waiting on Fantasy Grounds right now so we can, you know, hop on a game real quick and do some one-on-one play. Doesn't take a bunch of people. If you just got one, that's great. But I'll tell you this, digging through some of my old stuff, just bringing it out because I wanted to show off all my toys and everything like everybody does in every video. But two things that I found. Three things. One, love the magazines. They were always so good. There was always so much stuff in them. Man, loved that stuff. Another, and this is not even D&D related. Bam! What was it? Number 14. Spawn number 14. Loved the characters in this. Loved them. So good. And this was one of the most unique things. I'm not going to put all my information on here, but this was an old check at my first job, which was at Target. And it's just amazing. But I just want everybody to kind of see this. Look what my hourly rate was back then. Look at that. And you know what I did with that money? Probably should have taken girls out, but I didn't. I played D&D. I bought dice. And it took a lot of saving up. I bought accessories, packs. You know, great stuff. Epic. And these things will last you forever. I say that, but I can't tell you how many books I've lost and had to rebuy, and bags of dice. I mean, you know, you will lose things. So put that in your expectations over here. You will lose things. You would lose lots of things. But gosh almighty, just have fun. Enjoy this game. Have a ball. Be open-minded. Learn and enjoy it. Get experience. Just do it. Just do it. I'm not taking any copyrighted sayings by saying that, am I? Just do it. Game on. Game on, guys and girls. Game on. This is Martin. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it.